right, so...
You're gearing up for Chapter 16?
Preparation?
Okay.
In the B1 Gang Adventure and Mystery series, we're talking case file number 1 here, Halimaw Sa Wawa.
Monster and Wawa.
Right.
And the big question looming over everything is...
What exactly is this Halimaw they're hunting?
Well, what's brilliant about this chapter
is how the author uses the preparation itself to start sketching out the mystery.
You know, it's like piecing together a puzzle, but you only have a few edge pieces.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We've got our heroes...
Habo and Kiko.
Right.
Getting ready for this expedition.
And their leader, Meng Mike, is being pretty tight-lipped about the whole thing.
Exactly.
And one of the first clues we get about the Halimaw...
After the fact that Cabo needs to find...
Seriously, heavy-duty cages.
Not your average pet store fare.
He ends up at the Manila Zoo.
The Manila Zoo.
What do you make of that, you?
Yeah.
That makes you wonder what they're up against.
That's where they keep the crocodiles, right?
Right.
And it's not like they just hand out cages built for those kinds of creatures to just anyone.
So immediately, we get a sense of scale.
This Halimaw is big, it's potentially dangerous.
Okay.
And it might not be something you'd find in your backyard.
So we've got a big mystery creature on our hands.
Now, Kiko seems to think it might actually be a crocodile, right?
He throws it out there.
But he's also hesitant to fully commit to the idea.
Almost like he's afraid to even say it out loud.
And Meng Mike, he's not giving anything away.
In fact, he practically dances around the question when Cabo asks him directly.
Classic Meng Mike.
Always playing his cards close to his chest.
This whole evasive act.
It's a common thread in Filipino folklore, this dance between revealing too much and not enough.
Which brings us to the detail I know has you hooked, the handcuffs.
Handcuffs? Why pack handcuffs if you're hunting some kind of monster?
This is where it gets really interesting.
It's like the author's saying, hey, you think you know where this is going? Think again.
So, are we talking about a human element to this mystery now, or is this something else entirely?
Yes, it's like that moment in a mystery movie, you know, when you think you figured it out right when they pull back the curtain and surprise, there's a whole other layer you didn't even see coming.
So the handcuffs could be for a person involved somehow, but we also know these stories can have a supernatural twist. In a lot of Filipino folklore, the lines between the natural and supernatural are blurry at best. What do you think? Does this point to a human threat or something more out there?
It's that blend that makes these stories so compelling. You've got the very real dangers of the natural world crocodiles, this unknown Halimaw, and then you layer on the potential for human drama, maybe even malice with those handcuffs. It's like the authors created this pressure cooker of suspense.
And let's not forget, even if we are talking about a human threat, this is still the Philippines, where even the human threats might have a little something extra up their sleeve.
Exactly. You've got legends of menangles, aswangs, creatures that blur the lines between human and monster. It's not a far stretch to imagine those stories coloring the way our characters and even the readers approach this mystery.
This is what gets me. This is what I think the author nails here.
Get 15% off a set of Brake Mess Select, Select Pro, or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Even without giving us a clear picture of the Halimaw, there are all these echoes of other creatures, other stories weaving through the chapter. It's like you ever hear a whisper in the dark and your brain fills in the rest, even if it wasn't really there?
Oh, absolutely. The power of suggestion, right?
Yeah.
And the author uses that masterfully. Think about Kiko's crocodile theory. He even hesitates, like saying the word aloud might make it real. That hesitation, it speaks to the power those stories have, even when you try to rationalize them away.
It's like even suggesting the Halimaw might be a crocodile that brings its own baggage. Crocodiles are dangerous enough on their own right.
Exactly. And in a way, by not showing us the Halimaw directly, the author lets our imaginations run wild. We're left to fill in the blanks with our own fears, our own experiences with these kinds of stories.
And that brings us back to those handcuffs. They're like a physical representation of that uncertainty, that tension. Are they preparing for something monstrous, something human, or something in between?
It's a brilliant move by the author because it forces us to question everything we think we know about the Halimaw and the expedition itself.
So we're left with this lingering question. You know, if you were Cabo getting ready to head out into the unknown, what would be going through your mind?
Yeah, knowing that whatever they're facing, they might need to restrain it, either with those heavy-duty cages or even more unsettlingly with handcuffs. It adds a whole other dimension to the danger.
And then there's Meng Mike. He's obviously got his reasons for keeping things close to the vest, but it makes you wonder how much he actually trusts Cabo and Kiko, you know?
That's the heart of it, isn't it? The mystery of the Halimaw is one thing, but the mystery of Mang Mike's motivations, his history, what he knows but isn't saying that, might be even more intriguing.
It's like, on the one hand, you need his experience, his guidance to navigate this world, but on the other hand, you're never quite sure what he's got up his sleeve.
He's the kind of character who keeps you guessing until the very end. And I think that ambiguity is something a lot of us can relate to, especially when it comes to the stories we tell and the people we trust.
Well, this chapter has been like a crash course, in suspense, Filipino folklore, and the art of packing for the unexpected handcuffs. Who knew?
Right. It's a reminder that sometimes the most unsettling mysteries are the ones closest to home. The ones where the lines between the ordinary and the extraordinary get blurred.
Well, you're about to head back into Return to Wawa with a whole new perspective. Any guesses on what Cabo and Kiko find when they actually get there? What would you pack, knowing what we know now?
Along with those extra strength flashlights, I think a healthy dose of skepticism might be in order. And maybe a good luck charm just in case.
Until next time, keep diving deep.